Good afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock on Monday. The elections are on Thursday. I'm Patrick Bergin. I'm currently one of the two councillors for Aaron Holbrook ward, and I'm hoping to be re-elected into the role again. In this ward there are three candidates: Labour, Liberal Democrat and myself. The Labour candidate is what we term a paper candidate, pardon me, which means you won't see any leaflets, or almost certainly won't, and you won't see the candidate himself. They will be on the ballot, and they're there for you to vote for if you choose. The Liberal Democrat. Now, you should be aware of the Liberal Democrat, because if you're like most residents, you will have had somewhere between 5 and 7 variously leaflets and flyers, depending how you term them. The Liberal Democrat lives in Elson, despite claims to the contrary, not only in these leaflets, but the little piece that was done in the Evening News recently about all the candidates. And he says he's been working all year round and has been passionate about the ward for a very long time. He's lived here all these years, which he clearly hasn't, but we'll go by that one. In reality, however, nobody had seen him or heard of him before March the 19th, when the first of his, as I say, many flyers and leaflets will have landed on your mat. I have a bit of a problem with that. I've been the subject of their attacks, by the way. A picture of me pouring a drink with a cheeky, I'm no model or actor. I try to do a cheeky grin because you were making a joke about it. Where I was pouring some stuff for fair trade, I was actually serving many of the guests and members there. Many were in wheelchairs and couldn't get up or around to be served. So we were serving them beverages, low alcohol, pink fizz, as it happens, teas, coffees, biscuits, and some excellent free trade chocolate. Well, they made a big deal about it and accused me of all sorts, but it would appear that I've been the subject matter. I mean, even myself or litter and fly tipping have been just about the top and bottom of all their leaflets. I'm an old soldier, I can take it. You know, if you put your head above the parapet, you're going to get shot at, and I'm really, given my history, not going to be too worried about being shot at by the Liberal Democrats. But the chief, or the thrust of their campaign has been litter and fly tipping. This guy's been zipping around like nobody's business, fixing everything for everybody. Well, actually not. The reality is he's been taking pictures of it, saying he's sorted it out, and then they've been sorted out elsewhere and by other people. Quite often by me, as it goes. Thanks for the tips. 16 hours and 8 minutes. That's what it takes to walk this ward. Anyone says they can do that for you for 4 years every day is lying. We seem to have previous on this one, so let's just call that a porky and for what it is. Most of the fly tip and litter gets dealt with because people either phone Street Scene, it's a free number, they email them, sometimes they pop into the town hall, or people phone me, or email me, or even put handwritten letters through my door. And then I get it sorted out. Nobody wants it, it's a blight on an area, but it happens, and it happens every single day. A borough councillor is not a litter monitor. Dealing with it is something you can do, will do, and you will always get help whenever you report it. The same as you'll get help if you report strange activity around houses at night. You think there's something suspicious going on. In Rower and Holbrook, Marcus and I have managed to have 3 drug dens closed. That's 3 areas where people are not being blighted right now by a car turning up every 10 minutes, motorbikes, kids on bikes, the various fun and games that go on with the deals and whatever else is happening. We've had to deal with a great deal many more things within the ward. If you look at Rowner and then Holbrook, on the Rowner side, I've had far more to do with housing, some of the older housing stock problems, damp, getting people moved, getting kitchens or bathrooms refurbished. And this is a matter of course. Now, what I haven't done, and to my chagrin at the moment, because perhaps in looking at what I'm being faced with in terms of opposition leaflets, I should have been taking pictures like David Bailey from start to finish. It's not my way, I've just got on with it. It's a lesson learned, I suppose. But, it just never struck me that that was what I should be doing. I'd rather get on with it, get down the town hall, do the paperwork, arrange the meetings, and sort it out. The same as when I've stood up in court for people who live in housing association places and who are struggling with their rent and are looking to be evicted or looking at being evicted. And I've managed successfully to sort that out for a few. So there's a range of things you do within the ward, but a lot of it does depend on residents getting hold of you. And we're very accessible. An elected councillor is on the Borough Council website. If you don't have access to the website, then you can go to the town hall. If you can't get to the town hall, you can phone. There are ways and means of doing it. And if I've been guilty of anything, and perhaps I should have, put that information out there better, but I think that's probably true of a lot of us in the town hall, and that's something I seek to address. And I'll make sure that everybody has got access to me all the time. Then there's the stuff in the town hall, the stuff that the Liberal Democrats don't seem to think happens. Because they're too busy trying to be a litter monitor, they probably don't realise that we have to deal with things like budgets, licensing, planning, ways and just a complete range of stuff. And that's perhaps the heavier stuff. Now, the reason they don't say too much about that is because the voting history is clear. In virtually all votes, the Liberal Democrats abstain. So if you represent a Liberal Democrat, then the chances are your vote, your opinion, is not going anywhere. Unless, miraculously, all of their ward residents don't want to make a decision one way or the other. Because that's what they do. Recently they claimed a lot of credit for a big investment in one of the local parks. It's not in this ward, but in another ward. That investment came from a budget. There's a capital programme that was in the budget that they voted against. One of the few times they actually made a decision is on the budget. And they normally vote against it for political reasons. That's their shout. But as a rule, they abstain. And they abstain because going down the road, if it turns out to have been a bad plan, then they don't want to say they voted for it. If it turns out to have been a good plan and a success, they don't want to say they voted against it. So it's a game. Well, I'm sorry, it's not a game. Times are hard. Don't blame your borough council for what's coming from government and what's coming from county. We fight for every penny we can get. And we're in a strong position as a Conservative group. They take notice. But anyway, that's the deep and dark side of it. It's the heavy side, and it occupies a huge amount of time. So I think that'll do on this video. Basically, what I'm saying to you is, I've been doing the job for 4 years. I know what I'm doing. I don't care what flavour of political party you vote for. Once this election is over, if I'm your councillor, you can come to me and you will get 100% of my attention, the same as anybody else. There is no difference. It's all about getting the job done for you. I am a local resident. I've lived in the Holbrook side of this ward now for the last 10 years. I lived in Rowner for many years before that. I know the area well. I know the town hall well. I know how to get things done. I get things done. You see something, you call me, it gets sorted. Please don't expect me to be walking around 24 hours a day with a litter picking stick and a bag. I do plenty of it on litter picks. I do plenty of fly tip removals. I do plenty of speed watch. I do plenty of other things. But I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to be a litter monitor, because I'm not. You're voting for a borough councillor, folks. I hope you take that on board, and you vote for someone who's not only can get the job done, but can prove it. I hope you get the last of my leaflets before the vote, and hopefully I'll see you at the polling station on the day. Take care.